Good morning and welcome to this live class here on Facebook Live. It is two new innovations for performance wear and athleisure. What we're going to be rolling out today are two products that one just came out very recently within the last couple months at Stahls.com, and the other product is actually being released tomorrow. So you guys are going to get the absolute first look at this other product, unless you came to the Long Beach show where we did demonstrate this product as well. But these innovations are going to give you the ability to print like the pros, so much so that a lot of the looks that we're going to be creating, a lot of the looks that these products create are being found currently in retail stores. If you walk into your local Nike outlet store or Under Armour outlet store, Adidas outlet store, you are going to see the looks and the finishes that you're going to see here today available exclusively from Stahls. Both of these products are designed specifically for performance wear and athleisure because they're both designed to block dye migration. We know that is one of the very difficult things about printing performance wear or athleisure. Not only do you get heat press marks when there's too much heat on your garment, but you also have dye that migrates, especially on the sublimated items. So both of these products are going to solve the issue of dye migration. And this isn't, we've released products before or talked about products before that have the ability to inhibit dye migration, but these actually solve and completely block dye migration. So we're going to start by taking a look at a couple of finished goods that I have here on the table. First one is a product that is called Silicone Dye Block. And what this product is, it's a CAD cuttable product, so it's going to work with any vinyl cutter that you have. And it has a rubbery, slightly raised feel, great stretch and rebound. It's available in 20-inch wide rolls, which is what we will be cutting here, showing you how to cut and weed it today. And we have 7 colors available in this particular silicone product. They are white, black, gray, Kelly green, red, royal, and sky blue. And we have other new colors that are actually on the way. So this, if you look at Stahls.com, the material is called Silicone Dye Block. It is a 200 micron silicone based product. So again, great stretch and rebound, really good for numbers, really good for names, really good for left chest logos. Again, what you're going to see in retail stores when you go in there. So if your customers are asking you for the finishes on Nike, Under Armour, Adidas garments, silicone is going to be a very close match to what they're going to find in retail. The second product, designed specifically for performance wear and to block dye migration, is called AquaTrue Dye Block. And this product is actually going to be available beginning tomorrow at Stahls.com. So the AquaTrue Dye Block product is what is on the sublimated garment behind me on the mannequin in white, and here it is in black. So this is a water-based screen print heat transfer. It has a what the industry calls a buttery feel. It's matte, it's smooth. It's available in sheets, which I have a couple of those sheets here. It's a little bit different than what you would normally buy as far as rolled goods go, but our sheet here is 19.5 by 26 inches. So you pretty much have about 18 inches of working space. Your pinch rollers, as we'll show you when we load this onto the vinyl cutter, are going to go right here in this clear space. And then you're going to have the ability to cut out whatever design you want to cut out from it. It's available in 6 colors. We have white and black here today. It will also be available in royal, red, navy, and gold. And again, the whole goal of this product is to block dye migration, to be soft on a performance fabric, and also you have excellent stretch and recovery on these transfers as well. So this is great for uniforms or any dye saturated item that you need to apply to. We'll get into some of the application instructions over at the heat press in a bit, but let's start with the vinyl cutter. First thing we're going to cut today is our silicone dye block material, which again was this light or sky blue that is on this blue garment. So we have our roll here already set up behind the cutter. Again, 20-inch wide roll. Very simple to use. Don't be afraid that it's silicone versus a traditional film or vinyl, the properties of it when you're cutting, weeding, and applying are very, very similar. So we're going to line up under the blue lines on our Graphtec cutter. Okay. Lock our pinch rollers down. We're going to have this read from the front edge to where we're not wasting any material off the front line of this. And I am going to move to the side of the machine so we can, I'm actually going to do a test cut first for us. We always recommend doing a test cut when you are changing rolls, especially if you're changing colors. In manufacturing, some colors are a little bit thicker or thinner than others for opacity reasons. So anytime you change out the material, even if it's the same, if you're going from silicone sky blue to silicone white, we do recommend doing a quick test cut at the beginning of cutting. All right, let's get in and do that. I currently have my force set at about a 15 here on this Graphtec cutter. I'm going to back that down to a 12 for my test cut on silicone. Right, and we're doing a test cut specifically for the force. Grab my weeder over here from the table. The nice thing about the Graphtec cutter when it is doing test cuts is it gives you 3 test cuts to choose from. So our setting of a 12 is our middle test cut, which we're weeding away, and that weeded away just fine. The one to the right of that is 1 less, an 11, and the one to the left is a 13, 1 more. So we weeded very easily off of here. Our triangle left, we didn't pick up any corners, so we are ready to cut. Let's just set this up to do so. We're going to cancel out of our test cut. Back to the original menu. I'm going to avoid cutting over my test cut portion, set a new origin, and head over to the computer to send our first job. We're just going to do the left chest logo that we already showed you on the finished shirt. The software that we're using today, if you wanted to look it up on your own, you can look up cadworkslive.com. It is a cloud-based design software that is offered exclusively to Stahls customers. So we're going to send to the cutter here from Vector Cut, which is a download that you put on your own computer. So you can do all of your design work online at cadworkslive.com. You download the driver or the Vector Cut to your computer, and then you can send to basically any vinyl cutter. Again, we're working with the Graphtec. You can also, it also works very well with the Roland. It looks like we have a couple questions coming in, so let's see what we can do to answer those. So first, from Vanessa, I'm going to be personalizing polyspandex jackets. Would these new materials be better to use? And Tasha's question is very similar. Would this be good to use for polyspandex leggings? So short answer is yes. The material is very stretchable on polyspandex. The silicone isn't actually recommended for a spandex application, but the AquaTrue, actually let me make sure I'm telling you correctly. I might have those mixed up. I'm going to check out our user guide. One is good for spandex and one is not. And it looks like it's the silicone. I was correct. The silicone isn't really recommended for spandex. If you only have maybe like a 1, 2, or 3% spandex in whatever it is you're applying, it would be worth a shot. But you'll definitely want to do some testing on that just to make sure that it doesn't cause any issues. The AquaTrue product, which is coming out tomorrow, should be just fine for your spandex application. Silicone, if you have a very low percentage of spandex, it's worth a shot. I would say 3% or less. Hopefully that answers the question for you. So our cutting here on silicone is done. I am going to unload this, and we're going to go ahead while we're at the vinyl cutter and cut the AquaTrue sheets as well, and we're going to come back and weed and apply in just a few minutes. All right, so we are going to load. What you'll notice on these sheets is that all of them have this black back. If we turn this over to the front, we have our white color or black color or whatever color it is that you need to apply. This black on the back is the dye blocking agent. So this is what is keeping out the sublimation from going through. So we're going to load up a black sheet. I already have a cut and weeded white piece that we'll apply here in a little bit. I'm going to load the black. Right. So again, load that in from the back side, and I am going to move our pinch rollers onto the clear channels at the end of the sheet. If you're a little bit on the ink, that is quite all right, not going to cause a major issue for you. But as much as you can be in the clear, just gives you more cutting area to use. We'll lock our pinch rollers down. Again, we want the vinyl cutter to read from the front edge to where we're not wasting a lot up front on the sheet. Now, although the AquaTrue sheet, once applied, feels really soft and thin, this material is actually, I think it's over 250 microns, which makes you think that it's going to be really thick finish on the garment, but it's quite the opposite. It's actually really thin, and that is just the way that the sheet is manufactured, that it's a water-based screen print ink. It feels like screen printing once it's applied. However, it can fool you into thinking that you don't need a generous amount of force to cut through the sheet, and that's not true. So on the silicone material, which we said was 200 microns, we were at a 13, I believe it was, is where we landed, a 12. So we're actually going to bump this up and do a test cut at about a 15 just to make sure we're good. So let's adjust our force up to 15, and I am going to move the blade holder and blade over the ink, reset our origin, and go back to our test cut mode to do another cut test since we changed materials. While it's doing that, I'll head back to the table, grab the weeder. Okay. Now, one trick, which I'll show you again when we go to weed the larger version of what we're going to cut with these AquaTrue sheets, the cut lines are a little bit difficult to see on the adhesive side. So if you turn it up, you can see where we cut through. So I'm just going to give myself, put my finger underneath there to give myself a little bit of direction on where that cut actually happened. Okay. And this is weeding well. Okay, great. So we're going to bring our cutting head back and set it up to, again, where we're not wasting a lot of front material. Just get past our test cut, set our new origin, and I'm going to head over to the computer and send the cut job that we have set up, which is a name and number combination, through the team wizard, which is called Easy Teams at CADWorks Live. All right. So when you visit that CADWorks Live software, you can do your design work. You can save designs that you make in there. You can design from scratch. You can use our templates, or you can use the Easy Teams, which is great for if you have a big list of name and numbers for a league that you need to complete. Any other questions coming in, Taylor? Okay, not right now. If you do have questions, please feel free to chat those in. We'll take a few moments to answer them as we go throughout the class here. All right, we're almost done cutting. This AquaTrue material is going to apply at 275 degrees Fahrenheit, where our silicone can apply anywhere from 285 to about 302. We recommend the 300 range for natural fibers, and we recommend the lower application temperature, that 285, for synthetic fibers. Both of them are going to apply for about 10 to 12 seconds, and they're compatible with any heat press that's going to provide even and accurate time, temperature, and pressure. Right, we're done with the cutting here. I'm going to release this, and I believe we have another question or two coming in. Question is cost. Good question. So the actual cost of a, what I did was broke down the cost of a linear yard versus the cost of a sheet. And for the average size order, our silicone die block is going to cost you somewhere between 2 and 2.5 cents per square inch in actual usage. And the AquaTrue, depending on how much you buy, our minimum order on the AquaTrue, it's going to be sold in packs of 5. So if you buy one pack, you're up in about a 3 cent per square inch range. but as you move up in the packs, you can get that down to about, again, a 2.5 cents per square inch range that you're going to be using. So anywhere from 2 to 3 cents for the AquaTrue and 2 to 2.5 cents per square inch of used material for the silicone. All right, let's get into some weeding. I'm going to move these garments out of the way, actually off camera. Right. And make some room to do some weeding here. Let's do our silicone first. I like to get the smallest area that I can to work with when it comes to weeding. I don't like, if I don't have to weed a large area, I don't like to work in a large area. I find it makes it easier to know what I'm doing when it comes to weeding. So cutting off our excess just to get down to the one logo that we cut. All right, so we're just going to start in the corner and peel away. You can see this cuts in weeds actually very easily. The carrier itself is a static base carrier, so there's no stickiness to it. So should you weed off something unintentionally, it's not going to be real easy to put it back down onto your item. However, you can achieve a pretty good amount of detail with the silicone, which is what makes it so great for the left chest applications. All right, weed out our cavities. We just experienced a little bit of straight line tearing, and that's just the way that the material ends up feeling on the garment. It's part of the process. Again, it's actually, comparatively speaking, very easy to weed for a specialty material. Okay, so we're going to weed away our outside, and then I'm going to put this off to the side, and we are going to weed our AquaTrue sheet. Then we're going to go do some applications on some very dye-heavy garments to show you the blocking. All right. Same philosophy applies for me on weeding for our AquaTrue sheet as well. I'm going to get rid of any excess that I don't need right now. Remember how I told you it's somewhat difficult to see the weeding lines on the adhesive side? If you turn this over, I can see exactly what I cut there. So I'm going to look at it from this side until I'm ready to get to weeding to cut off my excess. And I can save this half of the sheet and cut more at a later date. Right. Okay, so I'm going to try and start up here in the corner where I have the most room to grab. And I'm just going to make a note here with my finger that this is an empty space to begin the weeding process. And once we get started, it's a lot easier to see. The AquaTrue sheets, again, become available at Stahls.com tomorrow. Again, you can get those in 6 different colors. In addition to the sheets, we will also be launching AquaTrue numbers. So you'll be able to get pre-cut numbers, like you can get die cuts. So you would order the sheets to cut the names out, and then you can order the numbers to lay out with it. It'll be available in 2 fonts. That is Team US and Varsity. And they will be available in 4, 6, and 8-inch sizes. Those numbers will actually become available next Friday. So sheets this Friday and numbers available next Friday. Again, I'm just looking to verify where my cut lines are, placing my finger in the spot to where I'm not making a mistake and trying to weed up the wrong part. Which I just did there. Okay. You'll see that you won't actually be able to see that once it applies. Okay, that actually is the right spot. Right, great. Okay, I'm going to cut off a little bit more of this and then we'll weed away the outside as well. Again, same thing with this AquaTrue material. This is a static sheet. This is not a sticky sheet that we're weeding away from. All right, but we have our transfer there. We have our silicone transfer, and then I'm going to head over to the heat press where we have a white version of the AquaTrue that's already ready to apply as well. So let's do a few applications. Okay, so we have our Fusion heat press set at 286 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to have a preheat that we're going to do on all of the garments to prepare it for application, to get out some of the moisture and wrinkles. And then we're going to do a 10 to 12 second full application. So first one that we're going to apply is the silicone. All right. Swing away the press. We're threading our garment underneath the press. There is a little bit of lift and height here on the pocket, but our application area is going to be far enough away from that, and we have enough leniency in the application that that small seam shouldn't be an issue for us. So we're going to cover with a cover sheet, hit for 5 seconds. We're applying at a medium pressure, which with the new Fusion IQ controller here, it would tell us if we were out of our pressure range. But we were right in the middle, which is a 5 to 7 for medium pressure. And we're just going to do a left chest placement. So I usually like to go, rather than getting a ruler out, I use 4 fingers to go down and say that's about where a left chest should be, down from the top. And just placing that off center for the left chest. We're going to use our cover sheet and apply for a full 10 seconds. I chose to apply the silicone first because the silicone product is actually a cold peel product. So we're going to set it off to the side while we do our AquaTrue applications, which are hot peel. So we'll remove our cover sheet and just take the garment off. I'm going to set it to the side and let it cool. And come back for our AquaTrue application. All right, so we're going to start by applying the black transfer that we made to this 100% polyester garment. And all of the garments, a lot of the garments that we're doing here today came from Sanmar, and a few came from Augusta as well. So we're going to use our cover sheet, do a quick preheat. Again, 5-second preheat here to remove moisture, wrinkles, and in these dye-heavy garments, you can actually get to the point where you see a lot of steam come off of burning off of some of the dye. Right. We're going to place our AquaTrue transfer. Cover sheet. And 10 seconds. Application's 10 to 12 seconds on the AquaTrue. We should be fine with the 10 since we're at 285 versus 275. And again, this AquaTrue product is a hot peel. Okay. And now for the true test of its dye blocking capabilities. We have a fully sublimated garment that we're going to throw on here, and then we're going to apply white AquaTrue to it with the dye block on the back. So let's thread this on. Again, all the threading does, we're making sure that we're getting as many seams and things that could get in the way of our application off of the press as possible. Almost forgot my cover sheet. Here we go. Another 5-second preheat. All right, I think we have some more questions coming in. As soon as I apply this white, we will address those. All right. go. And bring our cover sheet back. 10 seconds, and we'll move back to the table and peel off our silicone transfer and answer whatever questions you may have. I don't know if the camera picks that up, the steam coming off of that one. This one seems to have more sublimation in it and has been doing that every time we apply it. So as you can see, sublimated garment. Now this can sit for however long. We've actually washed the AquaTrue product through wash testing upwards of 125 times with no dye migration whatsoever. All right, let's head back to the table and answer some of the questions that you have. All right. I need a quote. Do you guys have sample packages for the new product? That is a really good question. So we do have sample packs available if you go to the website. I'm not sure if the silicone sample is up yet, but we do have $5 sample packs for our CAD cut products that you can check out at Stahls.com. The AquaTrue product is actually being offered currently. Transfer Express actually manufactures this product. They are the screen print transfer house of Stahls. So they, if you check out Ted Stahls' blog today, tedstahl.com, they're offering free samples of the AquaTrue. The Stahls version, if you prefer ordering from Stahls versus from Transfer Express, we will have samples available in the coming weeks. They're not available today, but there will be a sample pack available for those in the coming weeks. If you need that sample immediately, I recommend visiting transferexpress.com and requesting their free sample. All right, are the products of Stahls meeting Oeko-Tex standard? That is a great question. All of our products meet CPSIA, or all the products that we're showing you today are CPSIA compliant. I am not 100% sure how that matches up to Oeko-Tex, but CPSIA is a stringent requirement. So I would say that it would probably meet those requirements, but we haven't sent it to be officially certified by that organization. My understanding of AquaTrue is in order to get dye block, but you need to add and pay for a third color. Stephen, I'm not 100% sure on that. The way that Stahls is selling AquaTrue, if for Transfer Express for a custom transfer, that may be true. To get the dye block, you're paying for an extra color. To buy the sheet from us, it's the only version of the product that we're selling is an AquaTrue dye block sheet. So there is no upcharge on the sheet. We have them in stock and available to ship, and you'll be able to begin placing orders for those tomorrow. So if you want to cut out your own single color design from an AquaTrue sheet, there's no additional cost than what is available on the website at that 2 to 3 cents per square inch price. All right, I think that covers us for questions. I do appreciate everybody who came out and attended today, watching us here on Facebook. We appreciate your questions. Oh, I need to peel the silicone. Thanks, Taylor. Appreciate that. All right, so we're peeling our silicone off. And rubbery feel came right off. That is going to last upwards of 50 washings for the silicone. We have, like I said, tested the AquaTrue upwards of 125. So life of the garment is what you're going to get from applying these. So take either one of these two innovations in heat printing for performance wear and athleisure, completely block dye migration, and match the looks that you're seeing in retail stores like Nike and Under Armour. Thanks for joining us today. If you have more questions, feel free to post them and we'll get them answered.